Thank you, Kyle. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to the Chamber for organizing this event, and thank you to all of the candidates who are here tonight. We have 11 candidates for council and 3 for mayor, so we have a lot of information that these candidates want to get out to you. As a result, the Chamber has set up the evening to try to move things along as much as possible. And I'd like to go over the rules for the evening, just so you know the order of things that are happening. There are displays at the back. Each candidate has literature. Take a look at those. There will be a break that you can take a look at the literature as well. Basically, the program will be each candidate, and the mayoralty candidates will have up to 5 minutes to give an introductory speech. Each of the council candidates will have up to 3 minutes to give an introductory speech. We've drawn the order of speaking. They're seated alphabetically, and you'll see that when I introduce them, but the speaking order was randomly drawn, and we'll reverse that order for the closing speeches. They'll have up to a minute to speak at the end. After we've heard from the candidates, we'll take a short break, and we estimate that to be around 8:15 to allow you to grab a cup of coffee or a donut. There's also been some people going around with pieces of paper that you can write questions on. The forum tonight is not an open mic forum. The Chamber runs these where people can submit their questions. You can sign them or not sign them. You can address them to all candidates or a specific candidate or candidates. And what we'll do is we'll take those questions, we will review them, we'll group them, we will try to read them. If you write illegibly, we might have a little trouble, so we'll try to print clearly for us. And then we'll try to get questions grouped to make sure that we can get as many as possible. We know that sometimes people get confused as to the jurisdiction of municipal council versus the province versus federally, but also some of these issues are important. Healthcare is a provincial issue, but in Vegreville, it may be that you have questions on what candidates are focusing on or would focus on in trying to deal with healthcare issues. So we understand there might be overlap between federal, provincial, and municipal jurisdictions. We will be closing the doors as it starts at 7 o'clock. That doesn't mean that people can't come in, it's just that they'll be seated in between breaks of the speakers so that the candidates aren't interrupted or thrown off track. And again, we're asking the candidates to use as much discretion as possible in responding to the questions. We won't be able to get all candidates to answer all questions. We'll try to break it up fairly. We may ask certain groups of candidates, 3 or 4, to respond to certain questions. There are some, though, that I think everybody may feel the need to weigh in on, and frankly, we will leave it up to you. If it's important enough, we'll try to get you to answer the question. So, with that being said, if I could ask you to hold your applause to the end and then join me in welcoming all 14 of our candidates tonight. I'll first introduce the candidates for mayor, and starting on my immediate left, Jenny Cooper, Myron Heidick, and Natalia Toroshenko. Starting down with Mary, and again, I could have been clear, yeah, it's probably good to congratulate these guys. The 11 candidates you have to choose from for town council. We have Michael Simpson, Janine Rudick, this is slightly, I don't know, Tim is there, Timothy, Sandra Link, Greg Kurla, Adam Kozakevich, Derek Christensen, Mariel Brodziak, David Berry, Chuck Bannock, and Len Babbitt. So thank you to all of the candidates for being here tonight, and congratulations on being nominated and running. As I've said, what we will do is we've drawn order for speakers. We've broken it up between the mayoralty candidates and the council candidates, so I'm going to invite the mayoralty candidates to speak first. If you'll come up to the microphone in the order that we've drawn. And just one reminder, I understand from Mr. Godette that when you are using the table microphones, if you aim the microphone towards your chin, that works best, and you're a couple of inches away. They are directional mics, but if you aim it out towards the audience, it might not pick up as much. So Arthur giving us that tip. So we will first hear from Jenny Cooper, candidate for mayor.
Good evening. I wish I was as good a speaker as Mr. Dobie. Thank Thank you to the Chamber for hosting this evening. It's good to see so many people out and interested in this election. Mayor Coleman, previous councillors, MLA Fensky, ladies, gentlemen, and candidates. My name is Jenny Cooper, and I am the person to represent you as mayor. I was raised in the Bruce area and moved here with my family 28 years ago. Mike and I raised our girls and have been involved with community activities. This is our home. I was a Catholic school board trustee, and I'm a life member of Connect Club of Vegreville and presently chair the Crisis Association Victim Services Board. I have had the honor to represent you as a town councillor for 5 terms. This is 15 years of experience and knowledge to represent all citizens of Vegreville, from businesses to families, children, youth, the disabled, seniors, and our rural citizens who call Vegreville their hometown. We all have needs. I am a member of the Vegreville Water Commission, Homestead Lodge Board, Vegreville Library Board, and I've sat on the Museum Board, Parks and Recreation, Chamber of Commerce, St. Joseph's Hospital, Vegreville Centennial Committee, and more. Each group has taught me something, and I represented you well. I have a good working relationship with neighboring municipalities, provincial and federal government representatives. This is an important factor as mayor to ensure our town receives grants and funding for various projects and continued growth. We must continue to lobby our MLA and MP for health services regarding a new or renovated hospital to continue to provide health supports for all our community and members of the outlying communities, the rural folks. As mayor, I have the leadership skills to ensure our council works together towards success. It is a team effort, and each person on council only has one vote. We must work together to encourage new business, but also to retain the businesses we have. Each inquiry regarding business, no matter how big or small, must be taken seriously and in a professional manner. We must strive to work cooperatively. As mayor, I will lead the team to balance costs with services provided. There is only so much money to go around. As opportunities arise, we must look to hold the line on costs or even reduce them. Each department has established long-range budgets for the future. This includes capital needs and purchases. This is to be sure that such items as ambulances, fire trucks, snow plows, and other equipment is not all required in the same year. I do not believe in a slash and burn method, but to reduce costs whenever possible. Don't tear down what you can't rebuild. I am a taxpayer too. As mayor, I also want to continue to make Vegreville the regional service provider. At present, we provide services to Minburn County, Mundare, Willington, Lavoy, Manville, and the Alberta Central Water Commission. Not only are we good neighbors, but this provides income for our town. I will ensure our high standard of facilities, such as the arena, library, pool, parks, curling rink, and other facilities continue. Many of these amenities could not be possible without the cooperation and goodwill of service groups, church organizations, and the wonderful volunteers who make things happen in this town. I am proud of all we have in Vegreville. I am the leader to be your mayor and will continue to work honestly with pride and integrity to ensure Vegreville continues to be the strong, growing community that we are today. I believe the original pioneers of Vegreville would be proud of this town's accomplishments. I am the person to lead your community. I will dedicate 100% of the day to the demanding role as mayor, free from professional obligations. I can do the job. Vote for me on October 21st. Thank you.
Thank Dr. Jenny will next hear from Myron Haida. And I know that at the chamber meeting, they rang the bell at 1 minute and then again, but I jumped. So I think I'll hand up a little note that says 1 minute. So rather than ring the bell behind you, we'll change that protocol a little bit. The note means 1 minute, the bell means microphone will be cut off. So again, if you guys can accept that change, Myron.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow candidates, and the facilitators. My name is Myron Haydick. I'm just going to share with you a little story. When I first announced my candidacy, my picture went in the paper, and a friend of mine called me up, and he says, Myron, you know, we've known each other for a long time. You know, what I'm going to tell you, I hope you don't take offense. He says, you're going to have to clean yourself up a little bit. You know, like, get your haircut, you got a mustache. And I said, hold, Bill. You know, I said, you know, I'm due for my 6-month haircut, but the mustache is not going to go. He says, you know, I took that picture, and he showed it. He said, I showed it to my wife, and I said, if you didn't know this man, would you vote for him? She looked at it, and she said, no. So I understand I have to clean up myself a little bit, and this is the result from cleaning myself up. Anyways, I was born and raised in Vegreville. Had my schooling here. Went away for a few years in my teenage years to see what the rest of the world was like. Came back, and I was in 1974, and met a lady from Edmonton. And I'm happy to say that she's still my wife. We got married in 1980. God blessed us with 3 children, 2 which are residing in Vegreville. And my daughter, which is my campaign manager, is residing in Edmonton. She likes the city life a little bit better, I guess. But anyways, Vegreville has been very good to me and my family. We've been through some hard times, and we've had fantastic support from the people of Vegreville. And I call it home, and I've had called it home for many years. I think Vegreville has a lot to offer. It is, when you look at it, it's a very clean town. We have a lot of things to be proud of. Leaders in recycling that we started off, just our landfill facility. I don't quote me on the exact years, but approximately I want to say, 10 years ago, it had a 25-year life expectancy. Now it's got an approximately 60-year life expectancy because of the recycling programs, which saves a lot of money, and I would still continue on supporting that program. Our emergency services is basically second to none. Yes, there's a cost that goes along with all these things. But when you look at those things, I think it is a benefit for the town. So those programs I'd definitely be in favor of. There is things that, like our doctor situation, which I think that right now with our recruitment program and the retention programs is another thing that we have to ongo. Yes, even though it was said, it is not the responsibility of Vegreville to do that. It's a provincial responsibility. But at least the town of Vegreville is doing something about it. And that is another program that I would greatly support. There's many things, actually I'll just say this, like after my presentation at the chamber, I was told I should have some notes, and I'm not very good with notes, so I kind of wing it, if you want to call it. But anyways, that's that piece of paper is for us telling me out. Business. The business sector in any community is kind of, what you want to call it, like the heart. Without that business sector, what do you have? You think people are going to be staying here with fewer jobs? The taxes would not be, I guess I gotta hurry up here. Anyways, my focus will be transparency and accountability. I think this town has to be more transparent and more accountable to the citizens in the town. And I think it should be a more friendly place, and whoever wants to set up a business, be it or a resident. If you want to build a fence when you come in, I think that you should have an outline for you. Business should have more accessibility to what is available in town, because without business, I don't think we have much. Business is also going to help us reduce the taxes, and which we can have more facilities. Anyways, I know seniors, youth, there's been talk about, multi-complex building. That is approximately $22 million. That is something that can be looked at, but we're going to have to budget and plan for it in the future. Anyways, I wouldn't be up here if I didn't think I was the best person for this job. So thank you very much, and hope for your support.
Candidate for Mayor, Natalia Toroshenko. Natalia?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is wonderful to see so many of you here tonight in search of information from the candidates who will serve you for the next 4 years. You are here in an effort to make an informed choice on Election Day, just as you expect your seven elected representatives on council to make informed decisions around the council table. If elected mayor for the next 4 years, I intend to continue making informed decisions while serving every resident of Vegreville. I am able and intend to devote 100% of my time and energy to the role of mayor. I have sat at the council table for 9 years, having been first elected in 2004. I understand that while the mayor is the head of council, and certainly the leader of the team, the mayor has but one vote, equal to the vote of each councillor. Even though each of us on council has his or her own life experiences and his or her own perspective on various issues, I have learned how important it is to listen with open ears and an open mind to the facts as they are presented and to the supported reasoning of others. I am not afraid of change, nor of considering new and innovative ideas and ways of doing things. While mayor and council are concerned with governance, the concept of management of town affairs is the role of administration and staff, who work hard every day to carry out the policies, goals, and visions set by council. I have learned a great deal from these individuals and have gained much respect for them, for their knowledge, and for the work that they do, and especially so for our town manager. Under Jody Quickstad's capable and professional leadership, the town machine continues to function effectively, efficiently, and at the highest standard. It is the mandate of every municipality, large or small, urban or rural, to serve its residents by providing those services which the people need, want, and expect. For Vegreville, that includes infrastructure like water and sewer, good roads, sidewalks, and walking trails that are kept clean in the summer and free of snow in the winter, emergency services like fire and ambulance, recreational opportunities such as those found in arenas, aquatic centers, parks, curling rinks, and playgrounds, library services, supportive services for children, seniors, and families, garbage disposal, recycling, and composting, and the list goes on. The team of 7 who make up town council has the job of deciding annually how to balance all of these services by creating a budget that addresses all areas fairly and equitably. We must serve every resident, young and old, wealthy and on a fixed income, property owner and renter, entrepreneur and unemployed, tradesperson and service worker. Every citizen is entitled to the same level of service which meets their needs and their wants, and ultimately improves their quality of life, whether they were born and raised in Vegreville or whether they moved here last week. If elected mayor, I intend to continue collaborating with our rural neighbors, who's primarily the county of Minburn, in the provision of these services, leading toward mutually beneficial resource sharing agreements which ensure satisfaction and sustainability. Revenue which the town receives to pay for these services comes from only 2 main sources, taxes and government grants. As a level of government, we are not allowed to make a profit. As government grants continue to decline, the financial burden on the local taxpayer increases. Over the next 4 years, I will continue the work I have already started with my counterparts in municipal, provincial, and federal governments to address these revenue shortfalls and lift some of the financial burden from local taxpayers. In my term as mayor, I will continue to promote Vegreville as a strategic location for residential, commercial, and industrial development by demonstrating that land and space is available and ensuring that the processes required to complete the deals are smooth and satisfactory to both parties. There should be no doubt that Vegreville is open for business. If we're doing our job right, the council team must know what residents need, want, and expect from their community leaders. I believe that we have to become innovative in our intent to encourage our citizens to engage in community affairs. The more community conversations we have, the better we will all will be in understanding one another. Please elect me, Natalia Toroshenko, as Mayor of Vegreville.
For all three mayoralty candidates. It's very rare that we have an opportunity to have three candidates, all of whom have council experience, and I think it's just tremendous that you're putting your names forward. It is said that all politics is local, and when you read about that, what it really means is that you care most about things that affect you personally. And I'm delighted to see 11 candidates for council running tonight. I know that there are other elections that affect us, and I have had one candidate introduce or make it known that he is here. So if there are any candidates for school board that are here tonight, I know Ray Welsh is candidate and incumbent for the Elk Island Public School Board. There are any other candidates for school board here tonight. The chamber can't, at this venue, have everyone up and talking, but again, I would encourage you to investigate to see what the candidates have to offer, to talk to Ray and to the other candidates for school board, because of course the amount of money that's spent there is significant, and also all of us have kids or grandkids that are directly affected by it. So again, thank you, Ray, for running. We have 11 candidates for town council with 3 incumbents running for mayor. There are at least 3 new members of council that we'll be seeing for a 4-year term. And so we are very fortunate to have 11 people who put their names forward. We've drawn tonight, and the order of speaking is in reverse order. We're starting with Tanine Rudick as number 1. And Tanine, I guess we're giving people an option. Bell, after 2 minutes, or note?
Thank you for the option, Peter. Tonight, I think we all have a lot of choices to make. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanine Rudick. For those of you that I don't know, please take the time to come and introduce yourself to me afterwards. I was busy beforehand dropping off my kids and finishing washing dishes, and that is the majority of what I do with my life these days. In addition to that, I've had the pleasure of serving you on town council for the last 3 years. I'm originally from Vegreville, born and raised in a very politically active social family. And our family came to the area and chose this area to live in. And as I look around this room, I can see why my husband Andrew and I decided to move back here. I've played bells with some of you were my teachers, some of you are my neighbors on the farm when I was growing up, some of you are my neighbors now. This kind of intergenerational connectedness is the reason why we chose to move back here with our family. And when I look at this community, the things that mean the most to me are you. It's the people that make the things happen that are so important to each of us. You came here for a reason. It might have been for work, might have been for school, but the reason that you stayed is the reason that I stay here. It's the place that we wanted to raise our children. We knew that they would be safe, they would be cared for, and they would be mentored by the people that live next door to us, by the people that they met at their school, by the people that they met at their store. It's not a cliche. This is a community that you want to live, work, and play in. It's a place that I'm proud to call home, and I've lived here again for the last 13 years. As I said originally, I was from the area, born in Two Hills, educated in Vegreville, and when I first left, I went as far away as I possibly could. I moved to Japan as a Rotary Exchange student, never dreaming that from Japan, I would take a convoluted route, studying political science at the University of Alberta, starting our family in Edmonton, and coming back to Vegreville as a choice, a conscious choice about where we wanted to be with our family. As our family grew, we became more involved on their activities, whether it was ballet, Ukrainian dancing, school council, but the community that I lived in Edmonton and the community that I came back to here, it was important for me to be involved and make a difference. Whether I was operating my own business for 10 years, supporting my husband's business, or supporting my children's activities, what makes the difference to me is what I believe makes a difference to you, making a difference where you live. I've been proud to be a part of the committees that I've been appointed to as a councillor, representing you at the Chamber of Commerce, as well as on the FCSS, and as well on the Hospital Foundation and Community Board, and most significantly, I think, the Physician Attraction Retention Committee, again, a committee that is actually not a responsibility, but that we've had a lot of traction from. And I would look to that and the efforts of the FCSS as some of my lasting efforts as a councillor. I look forward to the next 4 years with enthusiasm and representing you on October 21st. Vote for Timmy Moody.
Thanks, Steve. The next two from Adam Bell or Moot? Nothing. You know you'll be done? Okay.
Thank you from the Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event. For those who don't know me, my name is Adam Kazakevich, and I'm seeking re-election for second term as councillor of the great town of Vegreville. I see Vegreville as a hub of commerce and service, a hub for professional services, medical services, provincial and federal services, for shopping, hotels, and for going out. Vegreville has the best volunteer fire department and ambulance service in the region. Vegreville is a source for other municipalities to be able to access services like water services and award-winning waste management program. We provide services to villages of Andrew, Willingdon, Lavoy, Innisfree, Two Hills, and we also provide services to Ace Waterline. Our bylaw enforcement is also sought after commodity in the region. We provide a variety of services and are a hub for over 40,000 people. This hub status has taken decades to be earned, and it needs to be nurtured, protected, and it needs to grow. We need to look at ways of saving money, but not at any cost. We need to be open and transparent with the decisions we make. The message is simple. We are open to seniors, we are open to families, we are open to youth, we are open for business. On October 21st, please vote Adam Kazakevich, a vote for responsible growth. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. We'll next hear from Len Batten. Len?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mayor Coleman, MLA Jackie Fensky, Election Committee, fellow citizens. Thank you for coming tonight to hear our forum. This is a stepping stone every few years where we choose our candidates to mold and nurture our local government. I'm a farm boy, went to college, worked for municipal affairs for a few years, located in Two Hills, served in many capacities in local government as an assessor, development officer, project manager, and went on to work for the Municipal Government Board under Dr. Steve West for 4 years, doing higher tasks of local government, Municipal Government Act, and land use bylaws, all those kind of things. Then I ran into Mayor McKenzie at one time, had a business in Two Hills as well, and he says, why don't you move your business to Vegreville? And we did. It's a nice growing town. He says, why not? And we're very happy we did that. And there again, I look back, been involved in the Lions and Knights of Columbus and Economic Development Committee. And now I look back, well, maybe I have something to give back to the community. And now is the time of stepping stone. We are looking for answers, maybe better land use bylaws, better approaches to how we do business, how can we attract more business to town. And another thing, I've been the chairman of Canada for quite a few years. I have another idea I just brainstormed the other day. I'm going to set up another committee of helping seniors in need and raise the same kind of money we do for Canada Day and help seniors, supposedly a snow removal or some emergency thing in winter. I talked to Valid and they said, great idea, we'll explore it farther. So I'm interested in community. And I don't have any pamphlets of all kinds of promises, but I want to hear from you first and take your issues to the table of town council and make them work and make them fit. If they don't fit, let's change our bylaws, let's change our regulations that make you happier, make this town a better town. So that's why I say my slogan was a better community, better communication, and better flow of business. Yes, business is great in town, but we can be better. It's just like my own business. I walk around and say, well, we've got to do this next project better. And the same in our community. It's a fast-moving world. You've got to do things better. Look what happened to Blackberry. They didn't do things better. They're in competition. They're way behind. So those are the results in today's real world. So on October 21, I greatly like your support because I have a track record. I've done in other communities. I want to do something good for this community. On October 21, please consider me. Thank you.
Thanks, Len. We'll next hear from David Beard. David?
Good evening. I'm David Berry. Thank you for coming to my job interview. I want to work with you. I was a single parent of 2 teenagers several years ago when I met my wife, Shelley. Now I'm retired. I'm a senior. I'm a pensioner. I'm a grandparent. And I have an 8-year-old daughter at St. Martin's. Moving to Vegreville 4 years ago was a family choice to raise our daughter here and be closer to my wife's family. As a parent and grandparent, I am dedicated to improving opportunities for kids. Every time a family travels to meet their needs elsewhere, it costs that family more. And our community suffers a loss of monies not spent here. A new recreation facility would promote economic growth. I will work in support of this community's need for a new recreation culture center. And it can be done through donations. It doesn't have to be all done through taxes. As a homeowner, I'm concerned about taxes. As a pensioner on a fixed income, I'm really concerned about taxes. While towns across the province grew in population by about 15% over the last 10 years, Vegreville's population increased by only 7%. The loss of business and population means fewer people must pay more. I will insist that spending be justified and not wasteful. I will work to promote growth by attracting newcomers, new business, and by encouraging residents and businesses to stay in town. As a senior, I want to work with seniors to improve support services and healthcare to meet their needs. I will promote better information about programs and services that are available to seniors. I will support seniors who want to stay in their own homes. For example, I don't believe an elderly senior has to shovel their snow. I will support the need for better health care and insist the council lobby the provincial government for a new hospital. Because I am retired, with no job, no business to run, I will commit 100% of my time to the duties of council. I will have respect for the voter by examining facts and listening to you before I make a decision. I will work for you as your voice of the council. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Our next candidate is Mariel Broadjack. Mariel?
fellow candidates, and all other attendees of this event. My name is mayoral. It's my pleasure to announce that I'm seeking to be elected to one of the 6 council positions for the town of Vegreville. I have been a resident of Vegreville and area since 1991. I've been self-employed in excess of 30 years, and in that time I have gained a wealth of experience and knowledge about the workings of business and municipal government. Our province faces a wide variety of issues which affect and alter the fabric of all communities, large and small. Using our knowledge of the past, we must focus on the future and do our utmost to ensure that this town not only grows but also thrives. We must plan and make informed decisions for future generations. First and foremost, we must be accountable to the taxpayers. The town must be operated in the same manner as any successful business, with fiscal responsibility and accountability to the shareholders, you, the taxpayers. Secondly, we must find ways to encourage all generations to become and remain active parts of this community. Growth is cyclical. Attracting businesses and corporations to the town will see the tax base grow, which in turn provides the opportunity to augment existing services and improve the overall quality of life for young and old. Education, employment opportunities, health facilities, recreational facilities, and programs all expand as the community grows and becomes vibrant. There is really no better place to raise a family than small town Alberta, and there is no better place to spend one's retirement years in the same small town which nurtured you as a child. Third, the town of Vegreville must be prepared to expand on both industrial and residential levels. Infrastructure must be in place so that prospective investors can set up prompt, efficient manner. We live in a province whose economy is the envy of much of the free world. We have the opportunity for growth, and we must take advantage by promoting Vegreville as open for business. Town council must encourage growth and investment within the community. These are worthy goals which I believe all members of town council should strive to attain. This can be realized with councillors who believe in open, effective communication between themselves, town administration, and citizens of Vegreville. They must understand the value of communication and cooperation with all levels of government, municipal, provincial, and federal. I would like that you make an informed vote, and I wish that you all show up to vote on October 21. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Our next candidate, Tim McPhee. Tim, note or bell?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim McPhee, and I've been a resident and business owner of Vegreville for the last 25 years. My decision to move to Vegreville was because I had the opportunity to own and run my own business and to raise my family in a small, safe town, for which I have no regrets. I bought my business in 1989 and became directly involved in our community through Kinsman. I'm very proud of all that we as a club have accomplished. The betterment of our town is what I've always believed in, and running for town council is the next step. Although our local businesses have done a great job of keeping up with the demands of our town through expansion and renovation, we still need more industry. If elected, my first priority will be economic growth. I feel it's a very key part in the development of the future of our town. Without it, we won't have any new families moving to town. Without our schools and our facilities, it will create employment, which in turn will broaden the tax base. To accomplish this, I think we need to develop some industrial land and let industry know that Vegreville is open for business. It's also my opinion that it's not necessary to hire consultants to tell us who we are and what we need. It's my belief that town council needs to have more input into budget decisions. We need to separate the wants from the needs of each department and to set up a plan for long-term wants and short-term needs. I know I have the skills due to my business experiences over the last 25 years. My knowledge in budgeting, staffing, and decision-making will help the senior staff through the budget process. It would be foolish of me to tell you, vote for me and I will lower your taxes. What I can tell you, vote for me and I will do the best to make sure that your tax dollars are spent in a reasonable manner. If I was elected for town council, I'd want to improve the working relationship with our neighboring counties. These people are our friends, our customers, our employees, our employers, and our teammates. Without a positive relationship, our facilities will not be utilized to their full potential. We will lose a large part of our customer base. After talking to some of the senior residents of the town, a suggestion should be to form a senior advisory committee. This committee would be a single voice for seniors with concerns of town council. I know that not everyone will be happy with my decisions, but I will always try to make wise and informed decisions for the benefit of everyone. I look forward to being part of a council that shares some of the same goals, and through healthy debate, we can make informed decisions for the betterment of our community. I'm asking for your vote on October 21st. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tim. We'll next hear from Sandra Lane. Sandra?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sandra Lane, and I'm running for town council. Just a bit about myself. I'm married, I have 2 children, I work at AGCO Electric, and I've lived in Vegreville for the past 11 years. I served on town council from 2007 to 2010, and it was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot about the workings of the municipality, what our role is as council, and what our role is as individual councillors. As council, our duties are to govern and not manage, and I want to be governing for you. I strongly believe in the following: fiscal responsibility. We need to ensure the money we are spending, be it taxpayers' money or government grants, is being spent in the most responsible way. Our spending must include not only looking at today's needs and tomorrow's needs, but the needs of the future as well. What we spend today on infrastructure not only has an impact on us, but our children and future generations that will make this community their home. It is how we spend the tax dollars, now and in the future, that we need to be accountable for. Smart spending is the answer. Business growth and development. Vegreville has a large trading area and provides numerous communities with a variety of goods and services. We need to entice industry and retail to the community by promoting our positives and creating the hub this community can be. We need a willingness to listen and engage in conversations and discussions about new ideas, looking at what has worked, what hasn't, and what is possible. We need to be open, approachable, and honest in our dealings with both current business community and future companies. The growth of the business community is vitally important to the sustainability of any community. Quality of life. I feel that Vegreville just isn't a great place to live, it's a place to call home. And quality of life is very important. Whether that means scenic parks, fun playgrounds for children, well-cared for recreational facilities, and more, these needs and wants are vital to creating an alluring and vibrant community. These needs and wants play an important role to those who already live here and to those looking to relocate. We need to support the existing facilities and programs and develop and support new ideas, programs, and possibly facilities to ensure that everyone has the highest quality of life here in Vegreville. There are many reasons why I'm running for council. I want to make a difference. I want to be involved in the decision-making that creates a vibrant community and a wonderful place to live. Yes, there are changes I wish to explore and ideas I want to bring to the table, but most importantly, there are your changes and your ideas I want to champion for. I want to be the voice for individuals, families, seniors, businesses, service clubs, and most of all you. So thank you, and October 21st, vote for Samuel Lang.
Thanks, Sandra. We'll next hear from Greg Perlow. Greg?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow candidates, MLA Fensky. Thank you, folks, for showing up tonight and taking time out of your busy lives to be here. Thank you, Chamber. My name is Greg Kurlick. Over the last 3 years, the town has enjoyed steady overall growth. The West End continues to expand. Housing starts and replacements have been steady. We've had a major expansion by ATCO, the new Valor Camp, and ongoing discussions with developers points towards continued growth. I have been part of the IDP committee, which has produced improved positive relationships with the county. We have developed a national award-winning recycling program thanks to the dedicated work of our staff and council commitment. And thank you for buying into the program with your enthusiastic support. We could not do it without you. We have completed another successful year of sidewalk replacement and repaving. Through timely construction, we can revitalize 10 blocks for every 2 blocks of total rebuilds. It makes good economic sense to be proactive. I regularly hear visitors to our community comment on how clean our beautiful town is and how friendly the people are. Thank you for your efforts. I have seen many of you on your doorsteps already, and over the next few weeks I hope to see the rest of you. It allows us to talk in far greater depth than we can here tonight. If you found my flyer, I'm sorry I missed you. Give me a call if you'd like, and I'd be happy to meet with you. The same way I'm sure that all of our councillors here would be pleased to visit you at your home as well. I've done my best to represent all of you on council. Decisions are, of course, made by majority vote. I believe that everyone deserves to be treated equally. There is no room for some to be more equal than others. We must work together to grow the community. I believe that all members of council must lead by example. If we want you to get a dog license or a business license or a building permit, then we must do as well. I pledge to continue doing so as I always have done. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to your questions later tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Our next candidate for council is Michael Simpson. Michael, it's a long walk.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I just want to say, you guys, thanks for coming out and taking part in the process tonight. I know last year we had about 100 people, so it's good to see the room packed. It's become clear in the last few months there's a growing need to watch how we spend our money in Vegreville. Taxpayers need to know that funds are being used wisely. I think the future council should use a business-minded approach to spending and saving. Vegreville is competing on the world stage for investment dollars. If we can cooperate with our neighbors, we stand a better chance of getting more investment with the united front. Part of that includes a council that is committed to cutting back on red tape for businesses. The process needs to be as simple as possible. Businesses in town also need a council willing to hear their concerns and take action if it means growth for the community. The council can make life better for families and seniors as well. There's provincial programs for seniors to help pay for special items like appliances, house repairs, and everyday needs, but how many of you in the audience know about them? I'd like to see someone from the town start working with seniors filling out these forms so they can get the funds that are available without creating a new job position in the process. Seniors need a council that presents a strong, clear voice back to the province about how issues are affecting them. If that means lobbying on their behalf for a new hospital or changes to healthcare delivery, we need to be the ones to bring their interests forward. Families need places where they can grow together outside the home. I'm talking about things like swimming, sports, parks, and playgrounds. I support the idea of a recreational master plan and a savings plan to go with that to give everyone in town more options. Families also need a safe community to thrive. We should continue to support the top-notch staff in emergency services and our local RCMP, as well as continuing to support local doctor recruiting efforts. Vegreville is a community with many voices. I think a major part of council's role is to make sure those voices are being heard. By embracing change and leading on behalf of our citizens, growth is possible. There's no need to wait for things to happen if you're willing to go out and make them happen. My name is Michael Simpson, and on October 21st, I ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Our next candidate, Chuck Bannon. Chuck?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful to be here tonight. Hopefully try and get you vote for me. But my name is Chuck Bannock, and I'm running for council in Vegreville. I've lived here for 15 years, owning Central Taxi. All these years, while I've lived here, I've seen some good changes, some kind of not so good changes, and some things that are really good. Anyway, my intention when I'm a counselor, if I get to be a counselor, to work with the people and other council members, to work at improving some areas of Vegreville. I know you can't do everything, but I'm willing to help the young people so that they are able to do good things and not getting into trouble. We know there are many things that could be improved, so we should get them started. We need to build up the downtown business sector, so many businesses have moved or closed or because of the new business area on the west end. That's why they've moved on. We need to get rid of that's me saying this now. This Trans Canada building that we bought in Vegreville was a big total mistake. And I truly believe they got to put it up for sale, get rid of it. We don't need another building for downtown. That's our office down there for the town. They don't need more room. The RCMP don't need more room. Fix up the area a little bit. That's all they need. They're asking for way too much and way too much spending. So that's my feelings about what goes on in Vegreville right now, and I would like to say that I hope to get better, and hey, thanks. Okay, and I appreciate it if I can get your vote on October 21st. Thanks.
Thanks, Chuck. We'll next hear from Derek Christensen. Derek? And Derek we'll check the mic to make sure that's working.
Check. It works. And so do I. Really hard. All right, so my name is Derek Christensen. I'm vying for your vote on October 21st. I'm married, 47 years old, and I like politics. I'm currently an employment facilitator with Employabilities here in Vegreville. I work with persons with disabilities by empowering them to enter the workforce and become a tax-paying citizen here in Vegreville. Prior to being an employment facilitator, I spent many years with the federal government in the Foreign Worker Recruitment Branch, as well as Citizenship and Immigration out here at the Case Processing Center. Prior to that, I worked with a couple of MLAs in Edmonton, Karen Libovici, who's currently running for mayor of Edmonton, and Peter Sekulik. I managed both of their constituency offices and worked down at the legislative annex as well. I have a background in radio, announcing, copywriting, that kind of thing. My education was done in Edmonton at Grand MacEwan University, 2 years towards a Bachelor of Education. I decided to go get a job after 2 years because it was pretty expensive. certified teacher's aide as well. I focused my abilities working with children with special needs and persons with disabilities. I'm the current president of our Rotary Club of Vegreville. I'm also the current chair of Kids Sport Vegreville, which are two outstanding organizations here in this town. I also sit on the board of directors for VegMen Learning. My candidacy focuses on accountability, transparency, growth, and sustainability, and accessibility. All of these experiences have allowed me to learn about budgeting, big budgets, small budgets. When I was a programs officer working with the Youth Employment Strategy, I managed budgets of well over $1 million. Let's see. I need your support so I can work on your behalf to provide the feedback on the various issues that are concerning to you. With your cooperation, I want to create an innovative, positive dialogue with our partners, with Minburn County, with all the councillors, and the mayor, and the administration staff here at Vegreville. I want to build new partnerships and strengthen those that already exist. I want business to grow. I want families to flourish. I want to facilitate growth in Vegreville. Long-term planning is the key. Vote Christensen on October 21st. Thank you.
Thank you to the 3 mayoral candidates and the 11 candidates for council. We are right on schedule, in fact, a couple of minutes ahead, and that's a tribute to you for respecting the timelines we have. I know you're anxious to get to the questions. The plan from here is that we will take a 10-minute break. You can grab a coffee, a donut. There are some seats up here for those who came in late. There's probably 20 seats available in the front row. If you have a question, just bring it up to this table on the side. If you haven't had a chance to write out a question, we have some more notes here. And if I could just ask you to join me for a second, I'd like Arthur Boudet to stand up. Arthur, again, VM Systems and Arthur have come to help us with the sound system to run this event. And every year, I think, or every election, Arthur, you're here, you're doing it, you're here early and taking stuff down late. And I don't know if citizens really know over the years how much you've done, but it's just a tremendous thing that you do for these, and we really do appreciate the fact that you're here letting us talk. So thanks, and we'll take a break for 10 minutes and bring your notes up.